everybody, it's Proceeds, known online as Wootini, here with another Gay Gamer video podcast. To start off with this episode, I want to celebrate some great news. Nintendo has announced that they are working on a new Pokemon Snap game. Pokemon Snap! Ah! So, super excited, especially because I always assumed that I know that there's a bunch of people who like Pokemon Snap. And I just assumed that Nintendo would be like, ugh, okay, fine, here, we'll just throw the Nintendo 64 game, we'll just take this, and we'll just put it on the Switch, and just deal with it, and enjoy, and like charge like $10 or $15 for it. And everyone would totally buy it, and then maybe they would be inspired to do a sequel. But they're not, they're just doing an all-new Pokemon Snap, and then that's super exciting. And I look forward to playing that, although I'm assuming that we're not going to have little Blockbuster prepaid cards to print out our stickers. I kept these. I still have my Blockbuster cards. I do not have any stickers left. I used all my stickers apparently. I can't find those, but I kept my cards in with my Pokemon Snap cartridge. So I actually was tempted to try to play it, but I would have to go and find the box out in the closet that has my Nintendo 64 in it, and then figure out, and then get it plugged in, and it's a lot of work. And there's another new game that just came out that everyone seems to be playing, and that is The Last of Us Part 2. I will not be playing that, mostly because I never played the original. I do have it. It's in my library on my PS4. I do have The Last of Us Remastered on my PS4 library, but because it was like a PlayStation Plus freebie at some point, and I said, oh, I should play that. Everybody liked it. Add it to the library. I'll get to it eventually. And I feel like I should play that now while everyone's playing the original, or the sequel. I could play the original, except for the fact that I'm still playing Assassin's Creed Origins, and I've also just downloaded Call of Duty World War II, as I mentioned last week, so I'm not going to delete that and download Last of Us. Like, I'm going to play the World War II game, also because I suspect, having never played a Call of Duty game, I don't know what it's going to be like. So even though I would like to play a World War II shooter, just because it makes me remember Medal of Honor on the PS1. So, obviously, it'll be a lot better than that. But I don't know if I'm going to like a Call of Duty game, so I decided, I could try it and then see if I like it. And if I don't, I just delete it, and I can play The Last of Us. But if I do like it, then The Last of Us will have to wait a little while longer. Plus, I'm still not done with Assassin's Creed Origins. And I lost this entire last week because I didn't play it at all, because I did actually go and purchase Beyond Blue. I know last episode I was debating whether or not, and later that day, after I recorded last week's episode, later in the day I said, you know what, forget it, and I just bought it. Because there is going to be a Switch version, but they haven't said when. And if you can say, oh, this version will be out here, and then like 3 weeks later there will be a Switch version, or a month later, or 2 months later, whatever, if you can give me a date, then I can say, alright, I'll wait that long. Or not, depending. But also, because I realized with this game, the visuals were important, and I felt like I'd feel much more immersed in the underwater experience on my big TV than on the tiny little Switch screen. So I just went ahead and got it for the PS4, and don't regret it at all. Also, while I do like to have the portability of the Switch is terrific, and the idea of saying, oh, I'll play Dragon Quest, I'll wait and play that on the Switch because I'll get more gameplay in because I can play it wherever I am, and not just on the TV. These days, portability is not so much of a selling point because I'm not going anywhere, so I don't really need games to be portable necessarily. But I'm glad that I bought Beyond Blue. I really enjoyed it. It took me about a week to get through playing it, like a half an hour here, an hour here, and a half hour here, whatever. I feel like if you were to just straightforward do the missions, you could finish this. You could finish it in an hour or two. It's not a long game, but you know, I of course would get distracted and swim over here and oh, what's that? And oh, let me scan those fish, and oh, let me go look over here and oh, what's that? And but it's fun. Like, you're basically a scientist who is in a little submarine. It's in like the near future, so everything's kind of futuristic. And what I like is that you have a rebreather, so you don't have to worry about like running out of air, and like the sharks don't attack you. There's no danger at all, and there's no danger of running out of air. You literally just swim to your heart's content as long as you like, and just enjoy the scenery and look at everything and do what you got to do. And there are missions, and you have these missions, and there's like 6 dives, and on each dive there's, you know, like, okay, go here, do that, okay, go here, scan that, okay, go here, get that sample, go here and check the whale, you know, whatever. And while you're investigating these whales, there's also this whole, like, you have these phone calls with your coworkers, and then there's also phone calls with your younger sister, which adds a whole, like, personal drama to the game, with your younger sister and your grandmother and all this stuff. And at first I thought it was weird. I'm like, why are you distracting with this like personal drama? Why don't we just focus on like saving the whales and figuring out what's going on underwater and stuff? But by the end of the game, I appreciated the drama at home, the personal drama, because it made everything feel more real. And the actual drama with the whales feels real because the whole thing is very scientific based. It's not fantasy. It's all very realistic. So everything just felt very real, and it totally worked. And that's the thing, is like there's no like, you're not exploring underwater like ruins and you're not digging up treasure. It's not that kind of game. It's very educational, and you're examining the fish and you're learning about, you know, underwater ecology, and you know, we're ruining the oceans and that sort of thing. And there's also a whole series of videos, like short little 1 to 2 minute documentaries that are real. They're like actual people, like what you'd see, because it's based on Blue Planet 2, the documentary series. So it's very educational. I don't know how much of it I'm going to retain, but the whole general idea of stop fucking up the oceans is important, and obviously that I'll retain, which, I mean, I was already not fucking up the oceans. I don't live near the ocean, but, like, obviously I try to be good about that sort of thing. So I recommend it if it's that sort of thing that you like. I did cave, because usually I don't buy indie games until they're, like, on sale, so that they're, like, really cheap, and then I say, oh, okay, fine. But this one I wanted to get because I do like underwater stuff like this, and I'm getting my money's worth. And I also want to support games like this. I want them to know this is something cool that I would like to play, so I want to buy it when it first comes out. But I'm getting my money's worth because while the actual story might not take you that long to get through if you just plow right through, if you take your time, you can. After you finish the story, you unlock Free Dive, where you can go back to each of the 6 locations, and, I mean, sometimes it's the same location, just a different time of day. And you go back to that location, and then you can just explore to your heart's content, and just swim around and relax. And it's very soothing and relaxing, it's very nice. I will say, I would have killed for a photo mode, and if they ever do add a photo mode to this game, I will be going back a lot more to go and take pictures, because sometimes you take pictures of things and it's like, oh, this is so pretty, if I could just adjust the camera angle and get rid of the hub, it would be so much nicer. But I mean, I would love VR. That would be like the ideal experience, to really immerse yourself in the underwater world with a VR helmet, but I understand that's a big ask. I would pay extra for it though. But if they wanted to add a photo mode, I would pay a little extra for a photo mode. Like, I'd pay a few dollars for a photo mode, but a free update with a photo mode would be super awesome. I don't even know if they're working on one, but But that would make me go back more, because as nice as it is to just relax and swim around, and also there's more fish that I haven't gotten the trophies for scanning everything. There's still a few little fish that are eluding me. So I just need to go through each of the areas and make sure that I've scanned everything, because, you know, there's still some of those trophies left to achieve. But just the general swimming would be lovely. But if they added a photo mode, I would spend a lot more time down there. I would have enjoyed this game if it was about taking pictures of the fish and not being a scientist and trying to save the whales and like explore and scan fish stuff. I'm like, just let me take pictures of things and then judge my pictures. Like, I can be an underwater photographer for National Geographic or something. That would be a game for me, and I would love it. Because I just love my virtual photography. It's so much fun to play around with cameras. So yeah, if you think that swimming around and enjoying the fish and getting a little ecological lesson is up your alley, check it out. And then come back next episode where I'll talk about... I'll be back at Assassin's Creed Odyssey, or Origins. Why do I keep doing that? I'll talk more about Assassin's Creed Origins, because I've gotten back into that, and whatever else. Maybe they'll announce another new game. Nintendo. Maybe they'll announce a date for Pokemon Snap. That'd be good. So, whatever. I'll see you then. Bye!